Hello everybody, welcome to Deluxe Collectibles, and today I'm going to be discussing the possibility of us getting a Ninjago CMF and also an advent calendar as well. And the information here supporting this argument is coming from an interview provided by Tips and Bricks on Instagram through the LEGO Ambassador Network, where they were able to interview the LEGO designer Nick, and I'll be sure to put his name on the screen as well because I can't pronounce the whole name, but I really appreciate the information here from this interview, so be sure to go check out their Instagram page. Be sure to link those down below in the description of the video. But without further ado, let's get straight into it here and start off with the question that they did ask in this interview, and that was that two potential future products that were mentioned a lot by our followers when we asked them for questions were another Ninjago CMF and a Ninjago advent calendar. Can you say anything about these or why they haven't been done yet? And then the answer that was given for this was, sorry, I can't make any comment on those as they are potential future products. So, of course, this is just the general answer that they would have to give regarding any sort of future projects, whether it was a Marvel theme interview or DC, whatever it was. They, of course, can't give out information like that just in the form of an interview. Here it would, of course, be an official announcement and an official set reveal, of course, but I think it's still kind of interesting here, just kind of bringing that up and discussing sort of the potential of this. Of course, it's a long-running discussion within the Ninjago community of whether or not it's necessary for us to get another Ninjago CMF, of course. And by saying another, I mean, of course, if you count the Lego Ninjago movie CMF, some people don't really count that as a Ninjago TV series CMF, which of course it isn't. It was for the film, but still, it is technically a part of the Ninjago universe, so it definitely is still sort of included in that. But I think that it's kind of interesting more so to talk about the advent calendar aspect, because now with this year us receiving a Marvel advent calendar, which is something that I didn't really think that we would wind up receiving, at least for quite a while, and of course it kind of supported it with us getting a Marvel CMF as well, which of course hasn't been revealed as of yet of recording this, but it is another thing that we did wind up getting or are going to wind up getting from Marvel, so we can kind of see the branching more out with that. So I definitely think there's a lot of potential for Ninjago, and I get that Ninjago of course has their legacy sets as well, which give another great opportunity to include figures that we might not have received previously, but I also still do think that there's so many characters in Ninjago that it would be great to get some of those included in a CMF or even an advent calendar as well. Of course, I know the main thing of an advent calendar is making it Christmas themed, but that doesn't mean you couldn't include some more desirable figures within these calendars. And I also think it would just be so cool to get like ninja Christmas sweaters or something like that. They've been doing that very recently with the advent calendars, of course, with the previous Star Wars one, us getting Christmas sweaters for both Darth Vader and then also Poe Dameron as well, and then of course in the new Marvel advent calendar getting one for Iron Man as well. And I would have loved to have seen one for Spider-Man, honestly, over the yellow jacket that they wind up giving him in that set, but still, I think that there's definitely some great opportunities for this, even in a Lego Club magazine, which I did do a separate video on this a long time ago, but we did see sort of a mock-up of a minifigure of Lloyd just with a Christmas sweater Ninjago theme, so I think that would be awesome. I would love to eventually down the line, because of course they tend to do about 2 exclusive minifigures for every advent calendar, which of course is pretty reasonable, I would say, considering you receive about, I would say, 6 to 8 minifigures in an advent calendar on average, of course, depending on the theme. And maybe that could even change as well, because Ninjago is, of course, a Lego original theme. It's not Star Wars or Marvel, where they really have to limit themselves too much. We've seen it with Friends, of course. We've seen Lego City as well get advent calendars, and I think they could really expand with this with Ninjago as well and really dive into it and give us some really cool holiday themed Ninjago sets. So I think that could be really cool. I would just love to see Christmas sweaters for each of their like respective ninja color schemes, so I think that would be so cool to receive. And then on the plate of the CMF, I think that we could definitely wind up seeing one in the future at some point. I'm not going to try to make my guesses for what figures could potentially come in this CMF at this point in this video. Maybe I'll do a future video on that at some point. But I think that's about everything I have to comment on here. I just wanted to mention this because I'm trying to cover in separate videos all of the points from this interview and kind of break them down for all of you so you can check out whatever you want to hear more about. So I hope you did enjoy this video, and if you did, be sure to leave a like down below. Also subscribe as well if you would like to check out some of my other content. That would be highly appreciated. So thank you so much. I will see you all next time, and always remember, keep on collecting.